Hey there, beautiful people out there, it's me again. So it's time for another episode of Convos with Chris. I told you guys that I was going to try to do these twice a month. So since the month is about to end, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and slide another one in there for you guys, okay? So in today's episode, we're going to talk about my experience being African, but being born and raised in America. A few of you guys have messaged me on Instagram, or you guys have commented on my videos asking me, was I from Africa? And I don't think I've ever sat down and chit-chatted with you guys about this, so we're going to do that right here, right now. The kids are sleeping, so this is the only time I can do this, so let's get it. And FYI, this is just Minute Maid because your girl was thirsty. And I just love this little cup. It says happy fall, y'all, because it's still fall. I know people in the Christmas mood, but we're gonna celebrate fall for a little bit more. But yes, a few of you guys have messaged me and actually commented on my videos asking me was I from Africa, and I think one of you guys suggested that in my recent update video, so I was like, you know what, we're gonna talk about that today. So yes, I am African, specifically Liberian, L-I-B, and I love it. I love it. Yes, but yes, I am Liberian, proud to the bone. I love being Liberian, wouldn't have it any other way. I don't have an accent, which is probably what confuses people because they can tell that I'm African, I guess because of my features, my nose, my full lips, but also my skin. Like sometimes when I go out in public, people can notice, they notice that I'm African, but they don't hear an accent, so they just wonder, and you know, they just like, so you know, they just inquire. So I just like, yeah, I'm Liberian. I was born and raised in North Carolina, which probably is why I don't have an accent. People say I talk country, they say I talk white. I don't know, whatever comes out of my throat, out of my mouth, is just what it is. So I don't have an African accent, which I wish I did. Oh yeah, I just wish I did. But unfortunately, I wasn't blessed with that. But it's okay though, it's okay. I got cousins and uncles and mamas and daddies that can do that for me. When my parents came to America, I was born. So had they stayed in Liberia just a little bit longer, I would have been born there. But because of the war and everything that was going on over there, they decided to come to America for a better life and, you know, for better opportunities, which is why I'm a hard worker, because my parents and my family, they work very hard. They don't make any excuses. They've been through worse. So it's in my heart, it's in my blood to work hard. So shout out to my parents and my family, okay? So my oldest sister and my older cousins, they were all born in Africa, but me and my little sister, we were born here in America. Yes, both of my parents have very, very strong accents. Like if you hear them talk, I'm sure you guys have seen them in my vlogs and all that, but if you hear them talk, they have very strong accents. It's very funny because when my husband first met my parents, it was hard for him to understand because their accents are very strong. Like he'd be like, what'd she say? Or what'd your dad say? But now that he's heard him more, he understands what he's saying. And also with my mom, since he's been around my mom more and longer, he understands what she says now. It's even my friends, like they've said that in the past, like they've always like, what your mama saying? I'm like, y'all don't understand what she's saying? I guess because I hear her all the time that I understand, but sometimes they just didn't understand. I just want to share a little bit of my experience growing up. So like I said, I don't have an accent, so some people really didn't know that I was African until I told them, or until they saw my mom and all that, because my mom used to wear, you know, she used to wear African suits, or you know, when they used to say hi, when she used to say hi to them, you know, they hear her accent. Or there were even times where, you know, I guess they looked hard at me and realized that, dang, this girl's African. Growing up, you know, I went to parties, I ate the food. Y'all know I love me some kitsali, I love cassava leaf, pilau sauce, jute leaf. I'm not a fan of bitterball, that's a little too bitter for me, or whatever. Pepper soup, like it has to have chicken feet in it, okay? Don't give me a pepper soup without chicken feet or turkey neck in it, because I'm not gonna eat it. You know, people used to be a little judgmental about those things because it's not their norm. So I was like, okay. People would say things like, oh, y'all African booty scratchers, or y'all chase tigers and lions, y'all have those things that like y'all shoot them at them and stuff like that. And I blame National Geographics and what's the other, it was another channel that used to show the bad side of Africa, like they used to show like the slums and stuff like that. But over time, the more I started to learn, the more I started to ask questions, the more I saw the good stuff that is in Africa, I was like, oh my gosh, Liberia is beautiful. But you know, when you have mainstream that overrides actual facts, people don't want to hear that. They just assume what they want. And it was to the point where it got so bad with people saying ignorant things that I just stopped telling people I was African, because I didn't want to hear that. Because not only are you being ignorant, but you're being disrespectful to my family. My family didn't grow up chasing lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, they didn't do all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And even if they did, that's the culture. So I just didn't want to hear any more ignorant stuff. So as I started to grow up, I started to learn more about my culture, because I've never been there, but I've always been curious. Like, that's why I always ask my mom questions. Like, I ask her, you know, how did y'all do this? Or how do you do that? How do you have a farm? You know, how do you start business and stuff like that? And the more I started knowing about my country, it made me appreciate it so much more. So that's why when people say these things, I be like, girl, and you don't go ahead with that ignorance. If you only knew, honey. I just ignore it. Like, even when people say stuff on social media, I just ignore it, because if you only knew how beautiful these countries are, not even just Liberia, but Africa overall is absolutely beautiful. Like, my goal is to see every country in Africa. So I have a list. I want to see Liberia first, which I'm planning to go soon. I just got to save my coins. I wish it was so much cheaper to fly to Africa from here, but I want to see Liberia first, and that's in the works. Hopefully next year, hopefully, but if not, it'll be sometime soon. Then I want to see Nigeria. I want to see South Africa. Definitely want to see South Africa. Ghana, Kenya. I just want to see the whole continent, point blank period, okay? And I'm gonna make that happen, okay? God, make a way, please. God, make a way. Like, I look forward to going to African parties, family gatherings, because man, those junks be lit. Like, yo, if you've never been to an African party, let me know. I'm gonna let you come with me whenever somebody tells me that it's gonna be an African party. Or if you have a friend that's African, you need to go. No, forget a party. Go to an African wedding. It will change your life. It will change your life. That's why with me and my husband, when we do our reception and stuff, like, I'm so excited. We gotta keep the tradition going and everything. So I'm excited for us to wear our, you know, our lapas and stuff like that. And you know, whoa, I just cannot wait. But yeah, go to an African wedding. It will change your life, okay? I love being Liberian. I would not change it for the world. That's why I'm so geeked to go, because, you know, like I said, I asked my mom questions, you know, I asked my dad questions, I asked family questions, because I want to know. Out of all my cousins and out of all my family, I think I'm more Americanized than them, because I've never been there. Like, I think everybody else has been there, from what I know, except for me and even my little sister been. Yes, she went, because we were supposed to go in 2012. Y'all know if you go during Christmas or if you go during the peak season, it goes up really high. So we only had enough for my mom and her to go, so I didn't get a chance to go. But that's why I'm gonna save up so I can go, because I want to see my country. I want to see everything that everybody's been talking about. I want to see it firsthand, so I'm so excited. And I also want my children to see, I want my husband to see, I want my kids to see their roots and everything. Like, I just cannot wait. A few questions that people have been asking me, how have I become more aware about my culture and everything? And like I said, just asking questions, because I'm a curious person. I don't assume anything. If I want to know something, I don't care how crazy it is, I'm gonna ask you, because I want to know. Like, I want to know. And when it comes to who I am and where I come from, you bet your bottom I'm gonna ask some questions, and I'm gonna keep asking until I find out things on my own. I can only know from people who've actually experienced it. I can't Google or Wikipedia, you know, stuff about Liberia, because either it's not going to be factual or it's going to be something from an outside opinion, and I don't want opinions. I want straight facts. So yeah, my dad's there, my grandma's there, my family's there. Actually, my mom and them they're actually going again soon, so you know, they're lucky they get to go. But you know, like I said, I'll be going soon. But because they have been there, they've lived that life, I know who I can go to become more aware about. Some people have asked me about the countries that I want to see. I already named them. Like I said, Liberia is first on the list, then Nigeria, because I have a lot of Nigerian friends. People think Nigerian jollof rice is better and they say Liberian's better. Like, I don't know. I mean, both of them good. Both of them are really good. Shoot. So, you know, just knowing and just eating their food, learning more about Nigerian culture, like, it just makes me appreciate other cultures so much more. And also, my stepfather, he was born and raised in Sierra Leone. So not only growing up was I learning about my culture, but I got to learn about another culture. So I know a little bit about Sierra Leone, and that's also another country that I would like to visit as well, Sierra Leone. Just knowing from the person's mouth and hearing their experience, hearing their stories, that's what puts that spark and appreciation in my heart for African cultures. I also got a question about how I felt about the Wakanda trend, and honestly, I'm not offended. Like, it doesn't bother me. I know some people were like, what? Now everybody trying to get on this African trend, wearing our clothes and stuff like that. I mean, I get what they're saying, because like I said, growing up, I used to hear ignorant stuff, which bothered me, and it's kind of crazy because I remember it was one person in particular that used to say ignorant stuff, and then I looked online, and when that, you know, when Black Panther came out, whole suit, African earrings and everything, holding up the Wakanda sign. I'm like, girl, you don't remember what you used to say about Africans. I'll let you be great though, okay? Wakanda forever. Also, somebody asked me if I've ever dated any Africans or whatnot, and I think I've only talked to one. I've never really dated African men, and and it's only because one time my cousin, like, this is my actual cousin. So a lot of times within African cultures, we have people who are not our blood, but we call them uncle or auntie or cousin because our parents are really tight. They're like brothers and sisters and everything. I have a lot of cousins and uncles and aunts who aren't blood, but because, you know, they're real close to my parents, or they were raised, you know, grew up with my parents. So you kind of grow and you just appreciate them so much. That's like, Uncle Zulu, come here, you know, like, that's it. But anyway, so from my one experience, my cousin, she's my blood cousin, she wanted to hook me up with her cousin, who was just a cousin that her parents grew up with his parents. So in my mind, I was like, I mean, he ain't ugly, but that's your cousin and I'm your cousin. So pretty much I'll be kind of dating my cousin. That ain't happening. I was just joking with her, but when I thought about it, I was like, no, I don't think so. I was open to date whoever, but I've always been attracted to Black men, white men, or whatever. So just from that joking matter, I was just like, so for those who have been wondering, now you know. If you were born to African parents but born in America, share your experience with me so I can know. If you guys have experienced the same thing I've experienced, let me know down below so we can talk about it, and let me know any other topics you guys would like to talk about, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.